well. So today I thought I'd do a slightly different video, having experienced things on this cruise that I kind of thought, oh, might be worth sharing and talking about, to see if you've come across it on any cruises you've done. But what I thought I'd do in this video is give my top 5 cruise annoyances. Now these are things that I personally have found a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating when I've been on this cruise, but also when I've been on cruises in the past. So I thought I'd share it in this video, see if any of you resonate with that, share my feelings. Maybe you've got some different ones of your own, maybe none of these annoy you, but let's have a look. So I'm going to go through my top 5, starting at number 5. There's no particular order or anything, but that is latecomers to shows. Now obviously a lot of these cruise ships, they have a variety of different performances, whether that's in the theatre or the different lounges. But for example, last night we were in a theatre enjoying a magic show, and this is partly down to cruise staff and it's partly down to people themselves, but you get a lot of latecomers to the shows and stuff, and I understand that things often run late, dinner gets delayed, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's just people figuring out where obviously these locations are on the ships because they're so big nowadays. However, you get a lot of people that are very late to shows. They then walk in, they're walking down the aisle, they're asking you to stand up, they're pointing to seats, they're shouting, they're waving for their friends and stuff to come down. And I think it should be down to the cruise staff, a little bit better in the cruise line, to enforce the rule of you need to be sat down in your seat 5 minutes before the show. Some cruise lines say 15 minutes, and sometimes they do that, sometimes they don't. But I don't know, it's just, we see that a lot on the cruises we've done, and last night was kind of no exception. It interrupts your show. Me and Ola are sat nicely trying to watch it. We've been there for a little while, and a lot of people were there before us, so they've been waiting anywhere from 15 minutes onwards and what have you. So that's my kind of first little annoyance, and it leads into number 4, which is the next one, and that is mobile phones. Now obviously nowadays people like to take a lot of photos and videos. I'm no exception to that, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same. However, during these shows and stuff, again, these performers have worked really hard to get these performances ready for you all, and the amount of people that had their mobile phones not just on but on loud was absolutely insane. It's not the first time we've seen this. We've seen this on MSC ships before, we've seen this on Royal Caribbean ships, so it's not just an MSC thing by any stretch. But for example, again last night, 2 people had their phones on loud, allowed their phone to ring out for a little while before then answering it, and a gentleman behind me actually answered the phone and proceeded to shout and talk quite loudly down it, which is incredibly surprising. The show had started at this point, and I get a lot of people need to make phone calls, or they need to find about kids or this or what, I get it, but put your phone on silent, and if you need to take a call, step out. You're meant to be on holiday and stuff and enjoying your cruise. So I've never understood, particularly with mobile phones, why they're on loud and people are willing to take these calls and stuff. And again, that maybe should be down to the cruise line to enforce that a little bit better. I get people want to take photos and stuff or videos, particularly if they've got friends or family in the show, and that doesn't seem to bother me too much. If I ever take a photo, I make sure that my phone is on very dim and I'm doing it very subtly as to not impact anyone else's performance. But the whole kind of volume on loud, taking phone calls and stuff is just a big no-no and annoyance to me. So the next one then, number 3 that I've got on my list, is kind of a combo, but the pushing in at lifts. I've never understood why people feel the need to push in and shove in lifts and what have you. Here on MSC, you press the button and it tells you what letter you need to go and wait at. The amount of people that I see just barging ahead of you, even though they can see you've been standing there for a while. And I think that's frustrating, particularly at the busy periods, because if you've waited a little while, you might have even had to press it again and wait for the second lift. If you've then got people going ahead, that's rude and a bit of an annoyance. And that kind of leads me into another similar point with the lifts, where the amount of people that don't let you off. So the lifts are quite wide for the most part. However, a lot of the times the lifts open and people are already barging and shoving in without people getting off, and you wouldn't do that on public transport, on buses or trains. It's better to let people off first so you can then go in nice and easy. But again, that's not down to the cruise line, that's just down to people, unfortunately, but it is still an annoyance on the cruise ships. So my next annoyance then is people being disrespectful to staff, or overall just not being very polite. You do see a lot of cases on these ships where people are shouting at bar staff, they're shouting at entertainers, whoever it may be, people that are trying to help and what have you. The kids club staff, for example, are run off their feet usually. They're trying to sign people in, sign people out, get people registered, and you see a lot of people being very disrespectful. And it's not their fault, obviously. The staff have got their jobs to do, they've got to follow certain rules and procedures, and equally equally, if they're very, very busy, they're going as fast as they can. And obviously a lot of them don't get, you know, any breaks, and if they do, they're very, very minimal. So, you know, it's a bit of an annoyance when you then do see people shouting at staff or being disrespectful, or equally just not being polite and stuff. There's a lot of people that don't say thank you to staff. I've seen situations at bars and stuff where a barman and stuff has asked me, you know, were you next? And I've kindly offered to say, oh no, I'm really sorry, this person was here before me. And they don't say thank you or acknowledge it. They don't thank the barman or anything like that. I don't understand that and what have you. It doesn't, you know, pay anything to have good manners on a cruise ship. And as we said, these people work very, very hard to you know, get you on your holiday and your cruise. So the least you should do is be respectful. Remember as well that a lot of them are away from home, away from their loved ones, and they're doing this for very minimal money. So it doesn't pay to, you know, treat the staff well and you know, say thank you, be polite, and have a conversation with them. Loads of people have chats with us, tell us their story, where they're from and what have you, and it's lovely to do. So yeah, that's another annoyance then, people that are disrespectful to staff on board. So my last and final annoyance then, and it's one that comes up time and time again on Facebook, and that is obviously sun lounger hogging. Now, this ship hasn't been too bad with that, I've noticed, but I know a lot of ships, P&O seems to pop up quite a lot online, and various others and stuff, but people that early in the morning rush down to the swimming pools, they put all their towels and hats and everything else, books and stuff on the sun loungers, and you can sit sometimes for an hour, 2 hours, maybe even more, and no one shows up. And I understand that a lot of people want to get a good spot and then go for a coffee, go for breakfast and stuff, but you should be able to do it in a way that either is minimal time, i.e. you're back in 10 minutes, or maybe one of you is going to sit while the other one goes and gets the coffees or the drinks or whatever it may be. Again, a lot of cruise lines are trying to get better with this, and they are trying to kind of monitor and walk around. I've even seen some kind of take tabs and stuff on what time a towel was left, so that if it's still there within half hour, an hour, whatever it is, whatever their policy is, they can come back and collect it. But yeah, it's really annoyance though, because obviously if you're not using that, you can't then have that good spot. It might be you've had to go all the way in the corner, you might not even be able to get one. We've had cruise ships before where you literally can't find a sun lounger anywhere, and then you're kind of having to give up on the chance to enjoy the sun or the pool because people haven't shown up. So we know this is a big one. This comes up on pretty much everyone's annoyance list, but I thought I'd share it anyway. So there we have it then. That's a few of my kind of annoyances from cruising, my kind of top 5 if you like. And like I say, I thought I'd do this video because during this cruise it's always interesting to see these things pop up time and time and again. And I thought it would make an interesting video while I had a few minutes here to record it for you. But am I right? Am I wrong? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. Everyone's obviously different, got different thresholds and stuff. I think a lot of these things are fairly common and what have you. I just think it's fascinating and stuff, different people's perspectives and stuff. I would never ever sit in a show, for example, and take a phone call really loud, knowing that I've got people around me that are trying to enjoy the show, the performers and stuff are trying to perform, and you know, if they're doing like magic and this and that, they don't need a distraction. So it's just really interesting to see anyway. And again, that's not just limited to MSC, which is the ship I'm on now. We've seen it on Royal Caribbean, P&O, all sorts. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below, and leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. That's going to be all for this video though. Many thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.